वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुलारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णा प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमय प्रदीपः नमो नमः. Good afternoon, good morning from wherever you are joining. Last week we rushed through last three shlokas of the 18th chapter. We'll quickly touch upon that one, and we'll start on the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which we did not cover, and we started from second. Now we will complete the loop with the first chapter. And I have been telling the story after story. Today it's Matsya Jayanti. Matsya Jayanti, in this Manvantara, the first avatara of the Lord is Matsya. In the form of Matsya, the Satya Vrata story, and he saw a small fish in his, while doing the morning sandhya, he taking the water in his palm. Small fish came, and he put it in a small bowl, and the next day he saw fish had grown big, so he put it onto a small tank. There also it became big. He moved it to a well. There also it became big. He moved it to a lake. There also it became big. Then he moved it to the ocean, and that ocean, that it kept on becoming big, and Matsyavatara, that he realized this is none other than Bhagavan himself. Bhagavan himself can do that one, and he asked the Upadesha. Satyavrata, he was from the previous Manvantara to this Manvantara transition, and Bhagavan gave the advice to him. What are the things? Now the deluge will happen, everything will go. Conserve the essentials. In the next Manvantara, this will be useful. So that is he became the next Manu of this Manvantara. He became the Manu. That is how that Matsyavatara came about. Matsya Purana, I told, started on the Matsya Purana. I told about the story of Yayati. Some of the things which are missing in Mahabharata are found in Purana. So, to fill up the blank, you need to reflect on the Puranas also. In the Matsya Purana, it talks about Pandava's ancestors. Pandava's Yayati story, I talked about. Yayati had two wives, Devayani and Sharmishta. Through Sharmishta, he had 3 children. Devayani 2 children, and he was cursed by Devayani's father Shukracharya for begetting children through Sharmishta. And when Devayani pleaded, he saw he's my husband also, then he offered a boon. He could transfer his old age to any other who is wanting to take on his old age. So he asked his children, Sharmishta's third child, Puru. Puru, he agreed to take on the old age, and in return for his youthness. And Yayati took upon the youthfulness, and he continued to enjoy his life for years. Then one day revelation came, how long I can keep on, that there is no end to the enjoyment. It is like pouring the ghee to the fire. Fire cannot be extinguished. Adding firewood to the fire, fire cannot be extinguished. Only way to handle this one, I have to withdraw. Then only he had a realization. He went to Puru and exchanged his old age, and in return he consecrated Puru as a king, though he was the youngest, and for his devotion to his father he gave made him a king, and in the senility he died. And when he went to the heaven, the Indra asked him the question, you handed over the kingdom, and what message did you give? It is a reminder for us also. We don't talk about these things to the children. We'll say what is that? Our Bitcoin code number is this one. That's all we say. Bitcoin code number, that code number, Swiss bank account is this one. That's all Indra said when he went to the heaven, because he had ruled the country well, and he said one who does not get angry is better than one who gets angry. That is the one message he said. The second one, he said, I told my son, one who has patience is better than one who do not have patience. I was instructing my son to imbibe these qualities. The third one, there are 8.4 million species are there. Of that, humans are the best, are at the top. And the fourth one, he said, amongst the humans, person with knowledge is the best. Without knowledge, Pashupi Samana, you are like an animal in two legs. The knowledge is the differentiator between the ordinary and the animalistic tendency and human tendency. And he said, when you get a knowledge, not to become arrogant of your knowledge. Then he said, be patient and compassionate to those who lack knowledge. The next one, power, wealth, and your youth. It won't stay long. It won't stay long. It will wane off. Not to be proud of your wealth, not to be proud of your connections and your youth. It will go off. Sooner or later it will go off. And always seek the company of wise people. Wise people are there. Always they will make you grounded. They give the knowledge. They will show the path of reality. Avoid the company of those who are not interested in knowledge. They are only interested in material thing. Avoid them, because sooner or later, like Yayati, got disgusted. So, not to get disgusted in life, seek the company of wise people. And Indra asked the question last week. I talked about did you see any realized people who did the great sadhana in your time? He said, nobody has done practice. I don't consider anyone is as good as me. I am the one who had done the highest of the sadhana. The moment he said, Indra said, your punya, coat of punya is over, now return back. Yayati was not perturbed. The punya, according to the type of quality you express, the meter runs differently. So, and he pleaded once, I don't mind going back, but please make me to be born and live amidst of knowers. May I have a company of knowledgeable people. Yes, in the mental health way it comes, yes, we are so focused on making money, so focused. Now the global trend is changing so fast. All of a sudden, we feel nobody is there for me. When you have the wise people around you, they will give you the solace. Listening to this ancient text gives you comforts. So he said, please make me to. Indra said, okay, you'll be born amongst the knowers. So as he was falling down, his grandchildren, Alarka and others, they saw they were the great practitioners, great sadhaks. They could able to see their grandfather was falling down, and he said, Bobo, you great grandfather, please don't come down, please answer us. You are coming down from the heaven, you've been to the heaven, please tell us what are the ways to you went to the heaven. Please tell us how to go to the heaven. What is the path? Respond, he was still in the aerial body, and he responded to his grandchildren to go to the heaven, the Swargaloka, the higher world. What are the things? One is tapas. You need to, in the Kena Upanishad we are covering, towards the end it comes tapa, dhamma and karma it comes. Here also it is talking about you have to do the tapas if you want to go higher. And charity, you have to be, not to be stingy person cannot go up. You have to be magnanimous. Magnanimous. When you go, anyway you go empty-handed. Why not give it to the right source and go? If you are not handing over, it may go to the wrong hands, it will be abused. Charity, consciously you hand over your the wealth in the right hands for a good cause. Dana and Dhamma, the third one he talked about, you need to have control over your senses. You need to have control. And fourth one, he talked about Shama. Shama means control over your, Dhamma is control over limbs. Our yoga practice, you are able to sit your limbs, Karmendriya, Jnanendriya, and control over that one is called as Dhamma. Shama means control over your mind. Mind is not very restless and agitated, anxiety, depression. Shama, calm mind, serene mind. Meditation. Well, you're coming, our Janan and Rita were doing meditation. Then another one is Hri. Hri means modesty. Modesty, shy to do wrong things in life. People say, I will do whatever I want. I don't care. Nobody can question. Be modest. And not to get into the wrong things, be the shy away from doing the wrong things. And Arjavam, next one he talks about Arjavam, straightforward in dealing. What you think, what you speak, what you act should be straight. We hardly see anyone with Arjavam thinking something, talking something, doing something. Well, talking has no value. They have no regard for what they say. They have no action, no concern for the implication. And thinking, Arjavam, you need to have the alignment that is required. And Bhuta Daya, compassion to all living beings. This world, you are just a small duration you are here. This is not your world. I have purchased a house. Land is not mine. House is not mine. And I am residing in that house for a small duration. After that, before that also somebody was there. After that also. Now in the Middle East war, recklessly they are throwing bombs as if they have no concern for this land. So many animals, rivers, they are polluting the rivers. They are bursting all the oil reserves. And Qatar was saying that so much of damage has done. Qatar accounts for 20% of the natural gas export to the world. The amount of damage has been done, it will take at least 5 years to repair. So, implication, world will suffer for next 5 years, at least. War has not ended. We have no regard. Mercilessly, we are bombing and ruining things. The ruining things, that is the Sarva Bhuta Daya, and not to boast about yourself. Not to keep on telling, you know what, you know which car I have, you know where I live, and you know what balance I have. Not to be keep on boasting yourself, and Next one, he talked about Yayati not to go for public recognition, not to expect people to praise you. That is the greatest pitfall for a yogi. If you go after a publicity, your sadhana, Patanjali also talks about publicity. The more publicity, I want everyone to recognize me. I want everyone to honor me. If you go after your publicity, your sadhana stops. More people criticize you, innerly you are happy. At least people are not disturbing. Not to go after people's publicity, and those who in front of you, they praise you, from behind they laugh at you. Not to go after publicity, then I am only concerned about which paper I am in, which who has honored, and not to go after honor, and this is greatest impediments to the sadhana. Hearing that one, then the grandchildren, they saw such a wise person. We don't want our ancestor, we belong to his race. We don't want our ancestor to fall down. They said, whatever sadhana we have done, whatever punya we have done, who is that? Alarka said, all my punya will give it to you, you go back. You go back. And hearing that one, other three of his brothers also said, you take our punya and go back. We don't want our ancestor to come down, fall down. Yayati said, no way. This is my mistake. I have to go through the karma. I am not interested even if you give everything you have. I have to undergo the punishment. I can't take it. They said, no, you have to take it. We can't let you fall down. And Yayati declined, come what may, I won't accept. I have to pay for my mistake. I was boasting myself. He told his one of the things, not to be boast about your achievement. He told Indra, nobody was equal to myself. The boasting, when you do, you fall down. I am paying for my mistake. I have to reap. When both of them were offering, you take, I don't accept, when they are haggling this, then Matsya Purana says, 5 divine chariots came down and took all 5 of them to the heaven. They all ascended. The meaning of this one, the heaven can be reached through the sacrifice, not through enjoyment. If you are only concerned about me and my family, myself, you cannot go up. Everyone was so keen to give. You take, I don't want. That Matsya Purana says, all of them got elevated, not only the knowledge, the application part also they experienced that one. This today being a Matsya Purana, Matsya Jayanti, it's an apt story. The Pandavas, the forefather story we covered. And the last 4 shlokas, Sanjaya, after hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna said, all my doubt has gone and I will regain my memory. I regained my purpose. I regained what I stand for, regained my memory. I realized what I stand for. I will act. I will do the action. It is saying, many people after realization, I am a realized person, I don't want to do anything. Bhagavad Gita says, now after realizing, you have an obligation to act. Last week I talked about in the Upanishad also. You take the by lane, find out and get back onto the highway to motivate others. Earlier, I was doing things as an ignorant person. Now, after realizing, do the same thing as a realized person to educate others. If the knower himself or herself is not doing, who will guide the generation? The purpose, somebody has to become a role model. After realizing I have nothing to do with this world, I will go, then how the new generation gets the inspiration? You have to motivate. It is Arjuna says, I will act as per your bidding. Sanjaya says, Ityaham Vasudevasya Partasya cha Mahatmanah Samvadamima Ashrausha Adbhutam Roma Harshanam. Roma, this conversation, horripilation, so the terrific. My hair is standing erect, hearing this one, Vasudeva and Partha's discussion. How I got this blessing, Sanjaya says, Vyasa Prasada Shrutavan. Shrutavan guhyatamam param. Vyasa Prasada Shrutavan etad guhyatamam param. Yogam Yogeshwara Saksha Yogeshwarat Krishnat Sakshat Katayata Swayam. This one told by none other than Krishna himself. Told by Krishna himself. Swayam told by Krishna himself. Told by, I got the opportunity to have the first-hand experience because of Vyasa, Veda Vyasa's Anugraha. Veda Vyasa, this is the 24th Dwapara Yuga in this Manvantara. And Veda Vyasa, there is a Vyasa in all Dwapara Yuga, but Veda Vyasa appeared only on the 24th to classify the Vedas and bring out the Mahabharata. In the next Dwapara Yuga, Ashwatthama, current Ashwatthama will become a Vyasa. But he won't classify Vedas and he won't bring out the Mahabharata. So, we are very fortunate to have Veda Vyasa in this about 5,000 years back. Is regarded as still in a subtle form he is there. And Sanjaya says, by his grace I could able to get the first-hand experience told by Sri Krishna himself. Other day I was talking to somebody and he has been indoctrinated by in the mosque they were talking about our Quran is a message of peace, whereas Bhagavad Gita is a message of war. Bhagavad Gita, they are projecting, we are the message of peace. Bhagavad Gita is it's a book on war. Ours is a book on peace. Choose yourself. So it is easy to brainwash people and people's mind, and Sakshat told by Krishna, Sri Krishna himself. Rajan samsritya samvadamima adbhutam keshavarjunayo punyam Krishyami cha muhurmuhu. Muhurmuhu means again and again. Krishyami. I am remembering this one. I am getting thrilled over and over again. I am Rajan Samsritya. I am thinking about this one. This Adbhuta, the wonderful discussion between Keshava and Arjuna. Keshava means, Ka means the Brahma, Isha means Shiva, Kesha, one, Keshava means the Lord of both Brahma and Shiva is called as Keshava. Keshava means Lord of both Brahma and Shiva. Discussion between the Keshava and Arjuna. Hearing this one, this punya, I am very fortunate to hear from the ultimate Bhagavan. who is the Lord of even Brahma and Shiva. This the honored, and I have done great punya to receive this one. Tacha samsritya samsritya Rupam adbhutam hare Rupam atyadbhutam hare Vismayo me mahan rajan Krishyami cha punah punah. The Vishwarupa Darshana, the what Bhagavan revealed, Arjuna, Bhagavan told Arjuna, you can't see with your ordinary eyes, you need a divine eye. Because of the Veda Vyasa's blessing, you and Sanjaya could see the Vishwarupa Darshana. Rupam Atyadbhutam Hare. That the form of the cosmic form of the Lord. It is beyond the expression, beyond the description, and Vismayo is a great wonder. That wonder, Mahan, it's the highest wonder. That is beyond the expression. I am enjoying over and over again. Krishyami cha punah punaha. I am thrilled again and again. I can't describe the form of the Lord. Form of the Lord. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhuti Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. It's talking about Yatra Yoga Yogeshwara. Where is Isha of Yoga? The Lord of the Yoga, where there is a master of yoga is there. Yatra, a keen student is there. That joining, coming together itself is called as yoga. Finding a right teacher is not easy. Lot of punya you need to have. And for a teacher, finding a keen student also is equally difficult. Equally difficult. That itself is yoga. When Vivekananda came to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa asked him, why did you keep me waiting so long? I have been waiting for you. The teacher knows what type of student he is expecting, and student also knows what type of teacher. I have to, my soul is parched, soul is craving, it needs to be nourished. That Arjuna found it in Sri Krishna. Where this amalgamation is there, and there is a sure victory, sure glory, sure prosperity, sure good name, and good policy around that one. Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. And Sanjaya concludes his opinion. Vedavyasa had given a vision. This is my conclusion of this one. O Dhritarashtra, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. There is a firm policy, and he gave his opinion. And iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita so Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Moksha Sannyasa Yogo Nama Ashtadashodhyayaha. Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. Bhagavad Gita is nothing but a Upanishad. Upanishad means student has come close to the teacher to elevate oneself. This is a Upanishad. What the discussion between the student and the teacher is called as Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya means highest of the knowledge. Why we had to contemplate on the Supreme Lord as the Brahman? Because as I contemplate on him as a Brahman, I also get elevated. the why we need to have Bhagavan as our ideal. As we contemplate on him, our personality also get elevated, goes higher. On the other token, our ideal is only a rock star, movie star, cricket player, T20 player. Our ideal is that one, there is no prapti. You have to, yesterday I talked about, listen to the New Year message, para bhava. We have to have para bhava, not para abhava. We have to have that one to go up, and this is the secret of moksha, freedom, and moksha sannyasa yoga. Samyak nyasa, completely dedicate yourself to the higher purpose. Undoubtedly, you will be freed in your life. And now this concludes the 18th chapter. Now going back to the first chapter, we have not touched upon. So the first word of the first chapter starts with dharma, dharma kshetre, and last word is mama. So what Bhagavad Gita is talking about? It is talking about mama dharma. What is my dharma? I don't know what I have to do in my life. I myself am a totally lost person. I don't know what some people say, do that one, do this one. I lost the plot of my life. I don't know. I may be 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. My hair has become grey, appear to be a wise person, but I myself do not know what to do in my life. 70 years, I have become 70 years. Should I do yoga or should I meditate? Should I go to Upanishad class? Should I learn chanting? Should I learn Veena? I don't know what I have to do. My life has gone. So, Bhagavad Gita is talking about, last word is mama, first word is dharma. Mama dharma. If you want to know what you have to do in your life, contemplate on your dharma, the path opens. The path opens up. Mama dharma. That dharma, not only that across the great thinkers, they were, the one lady in America, she commented, she was in a dilemma whether she should pursue her PhD course. She did her master's in America, master's course. She was in a dilemma, should I continue my PhD or go back to Korea? Go back to Korea. She was in a dilemma. She happened to come across Bhagavad Gita. She went through and she concluded, I know what my dharma is. I have to go back to my country. That gave, she's not from the Indian background, no connection, but it gave a path to her. In our life, full of crossroad. Should I turn left or right? Should I turn left or right? We are full of crossroad. Should I go to Pandu's or another restaurant? I don't know. Which life is full of crossroads. And it is Mama Dharma. Mama Dharma, it opens up the clarity in our life. One who has a clarity alone can move forward with zeal and with enthusiasm, and that person become a source of inspiration for others. Bhagavad Gita is a text for man-making. It will make your personality blossom. It will make you a brilliant person, brilliant leader. Personally, you are great as a leader, inspirer, as a parent, brilliant parent, as a brilliant son, brilliant student, brilliant employee, brilliant employer. Whatever you want to do, it will empower. Like Arjuna says, I realized, I will do. To Bhagavad Gita is not a text for just for Hindus or only the traditional people. It is a text for whole of humanity. Like a Korean lady. She flipped through, she got the inspiration through Bhagavad Gita. I found the way. Bhagavad Gita opened up the path for me. Bhagavad Gita, it's a super psychology text. It cannot be confined to the gamut of only this religion. This Bhagavan, when he has given to the whole of humanity in his object. He has not given only to Pandavas or only to the close buddies. No, only for time bound for 30 years, as long as Pandava lives. Even after 5,100 years after this war, still people are reaping. They can't find the bottom of this book. Bhagavad Gita is such a thrilling, what Sanjay said. So thrilling. It is a text for everyone, and everyone. Urge your children to flip through. It is not a text for oldies, retired people. They have nothing else to do. For punya you are reading. You are not doing that for punya. It will help you in day-to-day living. Day-to-day living, how to empower yourself. Arjuna, in the beginning of in the first chapter, talks about depressed, anxiety, stressed, did not know what to do. He just wanted to run away. So that Arjuna got the light, the path opened up for him. Not only Arjuna, for everyone it will open up. The Bhagavad Gita, in the first chapter, it is mainly talking about Arjuna's predicament, similar to what we are going through. I don't know what I have to do. I am already on 50 years, 60 years. Whether should I buy a property? Should I develop a real estate business? I don't know. My life is ending. I don't know what to prioritize in my life. Everyone is doing, I also should do. And somebody was saying, at least when I die, people should say he died as a millionaire. That my ambition is so small. In the eulogy, I want in the funeral service, I want people to say, that person died as a millionaire. How lucky. Is that his objective of my life? That is what the people are talking about. When they do not have the vision for their life, what they want in their life, they do not know. And Arjuna was in a predicament. He himself gave the Upadesha to who's that in Virata Raja's son. He wanted to run away. Arjuna pulled him by hair. You are a king's son. How dare you run away? Not to be a coward. Come and fight. He himself guided that one, Uttara Kumara. Now, Arjuna went through the similar situation. Not that in the situation changed. Arjuna himself motivated Uttara Kumara, come and fight. He wanted to run away, and Arjuna ran after him, threw him on the chariot. You sit here, and I will fight for you, not to run away. You be brave. And he infused him to stay on the battle course, but Arjuna himself fizzled out. So Arjuna is a story, and in the 11th, the second, in the first chapter, many characters are introduced. Many characters on the Pandava side, who are on the Pandava side, who are on the Kaurava side. In the first chapter, the first shloka alone, Dhritarashtra comes. Dhritarashtra appears only once. Then, rest commentary by Arjuna, Sanjaya, told by Sanjaya. Sanjaya did not tell as it was going. First ball, second ball. Though Vedavyasa gave the blessing, you can see, and he was a warrior also, he took part in the war. When the major wicket fell, 10 days after the war, when Bhishmacharya fell, he came back running to report to Dhritarashtra. He was in the war front. He had a blessing from Vedavyasa, no weapon can affect you. You will stay immune. and you'll get from all the weapons, immunity from all weapons. He was in the war front. He was seeing it first hand. He saw he's the captain on the Kaurava side falling down. He got panicky and went back and to report. And he sat there. But time to time, he was during the war. He revealed after 10 days he was there till Bhagavad Gita was over. Time to time he was going back to the war front and coming back reporting. He had that the Veda Vyasa's blessing, and he was honestly reporting as it is, not sugar coated. He was telling as it is. And Sanjaya was Sanjaya's father also, like the Karna's father Adhiratha from the charioteer family. His father also was a charioteer for Kauravas, and Sanjaya was also charioteer and a childhood friend. Dhritarashtra, it's like many ministers, they confide everything to their car drivers. So is Dhritarashtra's closest friend Sanjaya, childhood friend, and he trusted him. He asked the question, Sanjaya in the Vedavyasa before the war, many times Vedavyasa had come to Dhritarashtra, told him, please tell your son, amend the ways, otherwise your children will be perished. Like most parents, they say here also, I can't talk to my children. Now also people say here, they don't listen. Dhritarashtra also said, my son won't tell. So once when Vedavyasa said that one, he called Gandhari, oh Gandhari, tell your son to change his ways. Gandhari said, why tell son? I have to tell you. You are the one, right from the childhood, you pampered and turned his blind eye, saying that it's my son, he won't do. Vidura himself warned you. As soon as he was born, throw him, dispose him off. If you dispose him off, the rest will survive. But you told Vidura, it's after all a small baby. Drona is there, Bhishmacharya is there, I am there, this person is there, and everyone can amend him. Even the astrologer said he's a calamity, he'll bring ruin to the kingdom. And you said only this child, you started nodding your head for whatever your son said. Now I have to advise you, not your son. She rebuked him in front of everyone in the assembly. And now he was very panicky. In the war is imminent, war was about to happen. So Vedavyasa said, now the karma, I told you, now though you are blind, you can't shrug away your responsibility. I will give you the vision. See what the peril has dawned onto your doorstep. He said, sorry, I don't want to see. And if you want to give, please give it to Sanjaya. And I can't face it, I can't see it. When Sanjaya took that one, and he gave the blessing to Sanjaya during the period of war to see what is happening. And it's a time-bound subscription, not ever. And Dhritarashtra asked the first question, Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetayu-yutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Then asked the question at the beginning itself. He was partial. When his brother, as per the rule, blind person cannot become a king. So the Pandu was, eldest was Dhritarashtra, He was born blind. Blind cannot become a king. So the second one, Pandu, became a king. The third one, it's Vidura. He was born through the housemaid, so he was not eligible to become a king. So Pandu was the king, legitimate king, and when Pandu's king, he was the king, and first was born, though Gandhari became pregnant first, Yudhishthira was born ahead of Duryodhana. He was 1 year senior to Yudhishthira, 1 year senior to Duryodhana. Bhimasena 1 day younger than Duryodhana. That timeline it gives. So she was pregnant for long. When Gandhari heard Kunti delivered the baby, she was so jealous. Now I got the opportunity, my son cannot become a king. So out of jealousy, she beat her stomach. Lump of embryo fell down, and Vedavyasa appeared. And when she started crying, he said it's a concept of test tube babies is there. He cut that one into 100 pieces and put it in that one. He said not to worry, the test tube babies, it will children will come, and a small bit was remaining. He asked, do you want a girl also? She said, okay, another girl. Dushala was born, and another one, 100 plus 1, 101. Their test tube babies, they came out. Gandhari was such a sattvic person. They say, why Rita is doing prenatal? It is talking about the mood of the mother is because of the why she was jealous, because of the Duryodhana was in the stomach. The mood of the mother is according to the type of soul she is carrying also. Otherwise, she was a very pious, unbiased, and she was always on the side of dharma. She became jealous because of the Duryodhana was within her. And Duryodhana, anyway, he is disqualified. Father was not a king. He was younger to Yudhishthira, again not qualified. He had no right to become a king. Now he is taking the kingdom. It is it's a negative to the core. No eligibility, but I want to become a king. Dhritarashtra had a blind eye. He did not realize. Gandhari said, when do you think you become a king? Why do you think your son has a right to become a king? She questioned, but he was not budging. And here asks, Kurukshetre Samavetayu Yutsavaha Mamaka, my children, and Pandu's children. Instead of when the Pandu had died, he should see our children. Instead of asking our children, Mamaka, oh my close children, and Pandava's children, what did they do? In this Dharmakshetra, according to Duryodhana, he was fighting for his Dharma war. Negative people, even negative things they think Dharma. That even the terrorist, they say, become a good human. Good human means definition changes. For me, good human means kill somebody. That is in the name of God, kill somebody, or forcibly convert them. If they don't agree, kill them. That is your dharma. According to them, this is the dharma. Yesterday in UK Parliament, one parliamentarian asked the question, why in Islam, if you move away from Islam, if you reject your disown Islam and convert to other religion, why they are getting killed? They kill them. According to them, this is the dharma. You have to, moving away, it is adharmic. You have to, the dharma definition changes from person to person. For Duryodhana, according to him, whatever he is doing is dharmic. And Dhritarashtra asked the question, Dharma kshetre, Kurukshetre. Kuru, Kaurava. Kurukshetra, battle was fought in the Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is about 1 hour from Chandigarh, about 100 kilometers. A few years back, I went to, along with Yojana, we went to Kurukshetra, where Bhishmacharya gave the Upadesha. I conducted the online class from there, that place. That where Bhishmacharya gave the Upadesha, where Sri Krishna gave the Upadesha to Arjuna, in that place, I conducted the Bhagavad Gita class. Kurukshetra. Dharma kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta yu. They have assembled here, Yuyutsavaha, to fight. They want to fight. Both are saying, we are dharmic, Yuyutsavaha. My children and Pandava's children, tell me, Kima Kurvata, what did they do? He did not say, what are they doing? What did they do? Kima Kurvata Sanjaya. What did they do? Please tell. What did they do? And now Sanjaya says, Društva tu Pandavanikam Vyudam Duryodanastada Acharya Upasangamya Raja Vachana Abravit. Raja means Raja, O king. What happened? Seeing the Pandavas array, looking at that one, Pandava Vyudam, Duryodhana has seen Acharya Upasangamya. Duryodhana rushed to the teacher. He was nervous. Dronacharya, Raja Vachanam Abravit. This Duryodhana told to his teacher. And he got nervous. Looking at that one, they are all ready to fight. And seeing that one, he became nervous. He rushed to like a small child rushed to the parents. He rushed to the Dronacharya, and he wanted to, in the war front also, he ridiculed Dronacharya. Instead of motivating, he says, you are a useless person. Look at them. Your favorite student is there. Look at your favorite student is there. You pampered them, you trained them. Look at that one. They are against you. And he insulted Dronacharya also. That what happens, we will see, continue next week. Alparamba. Vasudeva Sutam Devam. Kamsa Chanuramardanam. Devaki Paramanandam. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.